60 teams, 1 cup. The rules are simple. We will spin a wheel of all 60 CHL teams, and then we will spin an arrow to see which direction they will be headed. For example, if the wheel lands on the Lethbridge Hurricanes, if the arrow points south, they will be playing Montana, but if the arrow points east, they will be playing the Swift Current Broncos. The winning team will steal a player. Unlike our first Imperialism video, we only have 2 power-ups. The first is Extra Life, where a team will gain an extra life. And the second is Veteran, where a team will receive the top player who ever played for their franchise. And there will be 3 Veteran power-ups around the map. Okay, the Extra Life power-up will be located in California. Alright, the first Veteran power-up will be located in Maryland. The second Veteran power-up will be located in, this will be West Virginia. Alright, and the last Veteran power-up will be located in Nunavut. This is what the map looks like before we begin CHL Imperialism. Now let's dive in 3, 2, 1. For the first spin of CHL Imperialism, the team will be the Moose Jaw Warriors. And the Warriors will be headed to their northwest. And that arrow passes through the Swift Current Broncos territory, so the Warriors and the Broncos will be our first matchup of the video. 50 seconds remaining on the clock. 30 seconds remaining on the power play. Here's Furcus for Dalhaniak. And now Jagger Furcus with it. Fitston on him. And now Bernie will take it away. He'll dump it all the way down. Less than 20 seconds remaining in regulation. Here's Furcus. Cross ice to Matichuk. And here's Matichuk with some time. He finds Yager for Bucko. And he never got a shot off. And now the final 5 seconds remaining. Here is McGlinney. He'll control it, finds Fitston. And we are headed to overtime in Game 1 of CHL Imperialism. Both goalies have played well so far. Surprisingly, the Broncos only have 4 shots in the entire game. The Warriors have been dominating, and overtime is underway. Dalhaniak with the puck. He'll go cross ice for Matichuk. Denton Matichuk for Dalhaniak. Lost it to Fluker. And now Pickering will pick it up. Here comes Owen Pickering. Finds Ward. His shot blocked, and Pickering scores! Owen Pickering finds the back of the net, and the Swift Current Broncos will defeat the Moose Jaw Warriors in Game 1 of CHL Imperialism. And the Swift Current Broncos will add Braden Yager to their lineup. A huge win for them, and they're moving on. And we will say goodbye to the Moose Jaw Warriors, and the Swift Current Broncos will win on home ice. The second spin of CHL Imperialism. Our next team will be the Calgary Hitmen, so another WHL team. And the Hitmen will be headed to their northeast. And that is a matchup against the Red Deer Rebels. 1.5 minutes remaining in the third period. Less than a minute remaining on the power play for Red Deer. Here's set off. Breakup pass for Uchas. Uchas finds Isley. Here's a chance. He shoots and he scores! With 57 seconds remaining, the Rebels get on the scoreboard. It's Jace Isley. And wow, on the power play, the Rebels take the lead. We'll see if the Hitmen can come back, or if it will be too late. Face-off won by the Rebels. Here's Weir, cross-ice for set-off. Now Lind, and this pass intercepted by Yakimchuk. You have to think the Hitmen will pull the goalie right now. Here is Marinkovic. The net is empty. Here's set-off. And Rebels have possession. Formanek with it for the empty net, and he scores. And just like that, with 13 seconds remaining, the Rebels take a 2-goal lead. It's Francis Formanek, and I believe it is over. And the Red Deer Rebels will add Sean Tejero to their lineup. And the Rebels will expand their territory as they defeat the Calgary Hitmen 2-0. And our next team will be the Sherbrooke Phoenix. And the Phoenix will be headed to their northeast. And that is a matchup against the Quebec Ramparts. Next, here's Brabennick in a shot and a great save there. And then they score! It's Melanson. A minute 20 into the game and the Phoenix strike first. Here is Monroe Boucher. His shot, and that deflected wide. Puck behind the net. Here's Monroe Boucher, and his shot also went wide. And now tied up, Monroe Boucher, maybe a third time's a charm. No, it's still behind his net. Monroe Boucher with the puck, and he stops. Monroe Boucher, behind his net, he stays with it. Monroe Boucher, and he scores! Monroe Boucher! Wow, he stayed with the puck for like 3 minutes. Anthony Monroe Boucher unassisted and gives the Sherbrooke Phoenix a 2-goal lead. Rollins with it. He finds cross ice for Belchamber. Here comes Belchamber. Finds Rollins. A shot. Stop. Rebound. He scores. And the Phoenix extend their lead by 3. And here comes and walks his zone. That's Charlie White. And there's Brabennick in the corner. Finds Melanson behind the net. And there's a shot. And they score. It's Brabennick. He makes it 4-0. 2.8 seconds remaining on the clock. This will be the last time we see the Ramparts in Imperialism. And that will do it. The Phoenix defeat the Ramparts 4-0. And we'll add Nathan Gauthier to their lineup. And the Phoenix will control all of the Ramparts' land. 57 teams remaining on the wheel. We'll see if we have an OHL team here. We will not. We will have the Tri-City Americans. And they will be headed to their southwest. And that is a matchup against the Portland Winterhawks. On down the right side. And he stays with the puck. And in front. And they score. It's Zakreski with the opening goal. And the Winterhawks will take a 1-0 lead against the Americans. Ernst with it now for Tri-Cities. And deep for Greenway. Now Sergio for Dragosevic. And now Machura. And he scores. And the Americans tie it up with 4:56 remaining in the first period. Clausen and Sloan on draw. One by Sloan. Here's Peters for Lajoie. And for Sloan. And he scores. With 21.5 seconds, the Americans have taken the lead. Jake Sloan with a huge goal. And now the Winterhawks are down. They were the favorites to win it. And now the Americans have taken the lead. 17 seconds remaining. Here's Belton with the puck. Reese Belton. And he finds Bell. His shot never got through. Sloan's there. And he scores again. Jake Sloan. His second of the game. And the Americans take a 2-goal lead. What a turn of events. Wow. Tri-Cities is about to perform an upset over Portland with 10 seconds remaining. Unbelievable. And the Tri-City Americans with a huge upset over the Portland Hawks. And they are moving on in CHL Imperialism. And the Americans will add Chaz Lucius to their roster. And the Americans perform the largest upset of the video so far as they control all of Oregon now. Alright, 4 teams have been eliminated. And our next team on the wheel will be... This will be the Medicine Hat Tigers. Okay. And they will be headed to their northeast. And that arrow is pointed toward the Blades territory. So the Blades and the Tigers will be our next matchup. And there's a shot by Mrzic. And a good save. Lee now with it. To the point for Parsons. Now Mrzic in the slot. And he scores! And the Tigers strike first. What a snipe there by Tomas Mrzic. And it is a 1-0 game. 15 seconds. Here is Roulette with the puck. Molendyke for a chase on. He got hit there. Lee can't clear it. Roulette with it. Now Krebs. Now Mrzic. The goal scorer. Can he clear it? No, he can't. Final seconds. Here is Chason. Last opportunity. Center off. Roulette. Stop by Lingo. And the Medicine Hat Tigers will win it here. 1-0. And they're moving on. And the Medicine Hat Tigers will add Josh Pillar to their roster. And will take part of Saskatchewan. Alright, our next team on the wheel will be our first OHL team. This will be the Barrie Colts. And the Colts will be headed to their northwest. And that arrow passes through the Greyhounds territory, so the Colts and the Greyhounds will be our next matchup in Imperialism. Here is York for Barry. York in a slot, and he scores! What a shot there! And the Colts take the lead. Barry trying to extend their lead on this power play. Here's Clark for Hache. Block, rebound, and he scores! It's Hache, makes it 2-0 Barry. A huge goal on the power play. And now Vierling with it for Barry. Here comes Evan Vierling with it. He's in the corner, waiting for reinforcements. He finds Hache in the slot, and he scores! Hache is second of the night, and the Colts make it 3-0. The face-off here won by the Colts. Aki for Cholak. 31 seconds. And now 30. Here is Matthews with it for Barry. And he finds Bowdoin, and he scores! And it is 4-0 Barry, as they have just dominated this whole entire game. And they're making a statement here in Sault Ste. Marie. 10 seconds remaining, and the Barry Colts will head home with the W over the Greyhounds. And will add Tanner Dickinson at the center position. And the Barry Colts now control the largest portion of land in Ontario. And our next team will be the Olympiques. And they will be headed to their southwest. And that is a matchup against the Niagara IceDogs. And now we'll ask Sadurian with the puck for Niagara. He's in the corner. And now he with it. And the centers one, and they score! Lavoie! It's the first goal of the game early. And the IceDogs will take the lead. This is to the right of Flores. He's been great so far. Now Botin at the point for Leno. And now Cormier walks in, and he scores! Cormier levels the game at 1. And the Olympiques are back in this thing. He lost to the kidney, and his pass is to go, and there's Nadeau, and he scores! On a delay penalty, the Olympiques take the lead, and now they're up 2-1. The IceDogs have pulled their goalie. It is a 6-on-4 with 37 seconds remaining. Here is Ribot for Zachary Lavoie. He scored the first goal for the IceDogs. And there's a Sidorian, and there's he, and LePena with a save. And he kicks it out. He almost put it in his own net. Leno can't clear it all the way. LeBlanc is there. And then he lost the puck. Here is Kidney for the empty net, and he scores. What a mistake there by LeBlanc. And Gatineau with a 2-goal lead, a short-handed goal for Riley Kidney. And that will most likely do it. And the Olympiques will add Zachary Lavoie to their roster. And the Olympiques will expand into Ontario as they defeat the IceDogs 3-1. Alright, our next team on the wheel will be the Edmonton Oil Kings. Alright, and the Oil Kings will be headed to their southeast. And that arrow is pointing toward the Rebels' territory, so the Oil Kings and the Rebels will be our next matchup. Final 10 seconds of the power play. Here is King. One last opportunity. 4 minutes now. And that fears Lind, and they score! The Red Deer Rebels with the first goal of the game right after the power play ended. And they're up 1 thanks to Kaylin Lind. Off now. Enters the zone. Here is Hoffraj, and he scores! What a snipe there by Hoffraj! And the Oil Kings tie the game at 1. Here's Formanek with the puck. Now Weir, and back to 0. Hoffraj takes it away. Here's Hoffraj with some space and time. Here's Miller now, and he scores! Edmonton takes the lead. Here's Finney for Kovacevic, and he scores! Rylan Kovacevic makes it 3-1 Edmonton. And it's now a 2-goal game. And that pass was set by King. An opportunity for the Rebels. Here is Brigley for Red Deer. He finds Kalen Lind, and he scores his second of the game. Kalen Lind with 8:58 remaining in the second period. This game is not over. Red Deer coming close to tying it up, and they need to get the puck, make a big stretch pass, and score. Here's Schneider with the puck. Final 5 seconds left. He lost the puck. And that will do it. The Edmonton Oil Kings will win this one 3-2 and defeat the Rebels. And Ben King is now a member of the Edmonton Oil Kings. And the Oil Kings will take over a large portion of the map. Alright, we have 52 teams remaining in CHL Imperialism. And our next team will be the Pete's or the Bulldogs. It will be the Peterborough Petes. And they will be headed to their southeast. And that is a matchup against the Kitchener Rangers. And now here's Brustowicz. He finds Martin, and a pass, and they score! Art Curry strikes first for the Rangers. And Kitchener takes a 1-0 lead here early in the first period. Here is White for Robertson. He got 8 out the puck there by Moore. And now Avon with the puck. Avon for Robertson. He shot. Stopped by Constantini. And Lockhart. He scores. The Petes tied at 1 early in the second period. Here's Moore now who possesses it. And now here comes Beck with an opportunity. Beck walks in. And his pass didn't work. And then Redcop. Here is Martin on the breakaway. He scores. And the Rangers take the lead. It is a 2-1 game. Thanks to Mitchell Martin. Crowd on their feet, cheering the Rangers on. Just need to keep their lead, and they'll move on in Imperialism. Peterborough pulling their goalie here. About a half minute remaining. Here's Mayer, and a stop there by Constantini. And here comes Pinelli, the captain. Fails to get a shot off. Here comes Hayes now the other way. Hayes opposed, and Constantini with a huge stop there. And now Adamowski with it. Finds Francisco Pinelli for the empty net. He missed wide. One last rush for Peterborough. Here's Stillman. Lost the puck to Schmidt. And now here's Adamowski. And there's going to be a penalty on Peterborough. With 2 seconds remaining, Othman will head to the box for tripping. Schleichen on a face-off. Wins it. Here's Moore at the point. His shot. Simpson with a save. And that will do it. The Kitchener Rangers will win on home ice as they defeat the Peterborough Petes. Brendan Othman is one of the top prospects for the New York Rangers. And now, for a brief period in Imperialism, he will be a member of the Kitchener Rangers. And the Rangers will gain some more territory in Ontario. 51 teams remaining on the wheel. The Petes were just eliminated, and our next team will be the St. John IceDogs. And they will be headed to their southeast. And the IceDogs will head to Halifax to take on the Mooseheads. And now Drover to the point for Bilodeau. And now LaForge. Pressure there. Here's an opportunity for Halifax. Here's Morovich. And he scores! The Mooseheads strike first with 4:33 remaining in the first period. Second period about to be underway. Mooseheads up 1. And the IceDogs will win the faceoff. Here is this rush for Reinhardt. And he got it there. Morovich now scored the goal. Here's Burns. He walks in, and he scores! And just like that, the IceDogs tied the game at 1. Scored a goal in the first period for Halifax. He gets hit hard there. And now Desros with the captain for the IceDogs. Benoit. Lost the puck to Vidicek. Here's Boucher. And he scores! A mistake like that. And the Mooseheads regain the lead. Less than a minute remaining in the third and final period. Here's Cata for the shot. And then Doucette. He scores! And the Mooseheads take a 2-goal lead and make it 3-1. And the IceDogs are now in big trouble. Pesci for the empty net. And he scores! 4-1. Mooseheads in the lead. It was just a 1-1 game, and now it's a 4-1 game. 5 seconds remaining. Here comes Burbage. His shot, stopped by Rousseau, and that will do it. The Halifax Mooseheads will win on home ice, 4-1 against the IceDogs, and the Mooseheads will add Brady Burns to their roster. And the IceDogs will be erased from the CHL Imperialism map. 10 teams have been eliminated when we are down to 50 teams in Imperialism. And our next team will be the Voltigeurs. And they will be headed to their west. And that passes through the Olympiques territory. So the Voltigeurs and the Olympiques will be our next matchup. Here's Coda's shot, and he scores! And the Voltigeurs are on the board first. Here's a point for Boudry, and he scores! And the Voltigeurs make it 2-0. And Landry will skate it out and into the zone. Landry in the slot. His shot, and he scores! And Drummondville makes it 3-0 against the Olympiques, thanks to Lucas Landry. Olympiques with one last push here. Savoie, his shot stopped by Gooby, who's been outstanding in this one. And that will do it. The Voltigeurs are moving on in CHL Imperialism. And the Voltigeurs will add Zach Dean to their roster. And the Voltigeurs will add quite a bit of land to their territory. Alright, 49 teams remaining in CHL Imperialism. And our next team will be the Ottawa 67s of the Ontario Hockey League. And they will be headed to their northeast. And that arrow does pass through the Voltigeurs territory before it hits the Phoenix. So the 67s and the Voltigeurs will be our next matchup. And now Boucher with 3 minutes remaining in the first period. He finds Morrison. Here comes Morrison, a 2-on-1. Here's Guerrier shot, and he scores! Will Guerrier makes it a 1-0 game, and the 67s take the lead. And poked away there by Mitch. Diot for Coche. Coche shot, and he scores! Zach Dean tips it in, and the Voltigeurs tie it at 1. His first as a Voltigeur now levels the game. Now we'll see how the 67s will respond. Here's Dever shot, never got through. Mick now, and he scores! The 67s take the lead at once again and quickly answer after the Voltigeurs goal. Finds Coche, lost the puck, and now Tolne with it. Here comes Tolne down the right side, and he finds Boucher, never blocked through, and he scores! And the 67s take a 2-goal lead, and it is now 3-1. Now Woodworth stripped away from the puck. Mantua comes there for Guerrier. Under 10 minutes remaining in the third and final period. A chance for Ottawa. Here's Morrison for Guerrier. Another backdoor pass, and Tyler Boucher with a huge goal, his second of the night, and just like that, it is 4-1. 10 seconds remaining. Here's Dever in the corner. Finds Stonehouse, and he never got through. And now 14 with it. Less than 5 seconds remaining. 3 seconds remaining. Here's Lafano. His shot never got through. And the block is over McKenzie. And that will do it. The 67s will defeat the Voltigeurs and move on. And Zach Dean is now a member of the Ottawa 67s. And the 67s will expand their territory into Quebec. And we'll move on. So the Voltigeurs are off the wheel. And our next team will be the Halifax Mooseheads, who have already beaten the IceDogs. And they will be headed to their northeast. And that arrow does pass through the Islanders territory, so the Mooseheads and the Islanders will be our next matchup. Here's a goal route for Boucher. Boucher in the slot, and that backhand pass went wide. And we are headed to overtime. We are still scoreless. The Mooseheads have been dominating, but the Islanders goaltender has been outstanding. Catherine Gallant face-off won by Gallant. We are underway in overtime. Here is Kiersey with an opportunity, and a big save there by Russo. And now Kiersey again, and Russo another big save. And a good back to there by Martin. Able to take the puck away. And then back to Book with the big hit there. Here's Morneau with it for Charlottetown. His shot, Russo with a save. Puck in the corner, Martin with it. And now McKinnon for Vidicek. And he lost the puck, but regains possession. Vidicek down the right side, in the slot. Here's an opportunity, a shot for Bill with a big save. And now McKinnon to the point for Furlong. Here is Furlong. And he scores! And the Mooseheads, with a minute remaining overtime, will find the back of the net. And after an intense game, the Mooseheads will advance in CHL Imperialism and defeat the Charlottetown Islanders. And the Halifax Mooseheads will add Jeremy Biakabutica to their roster. And the Islanders will be erased from the CHL Imperialism app. Alright, next team on the wheel will be the Seattle Thunderbirds will be our next team. And they will be headed to their southwest. And that arrow passes through Everett's territory, so the Thunderbirds and Silvertips will be our next matchup in CHL Imperialism. Lambert with it. Yvonne Schaefer, a shot, stopped, rebound, and he scores! Reed Schaefer puts the Thunderbirds on the board, and Seattle will take a 1-0 lead. And his pass intercepted. Bopowicz now for Seattle. He finds, here's Korchinski, and they score! Sachin and the Thunderbirds have a 2-goal lead. Sutter lost the puck. Here's Lambert for Genther, and now his pass. Schaefer with it, and he scores! Reed Schaefer's second of the night, and Seattle takes a 3-0 lead over Everett. 5:25 remaining in the third period. Won by Davidson. Here's Korchinski at the point. He walks in, and Davidson scores! And Seattle takes a 4-0 lead over the Silvertips as they capitalize on the power play. Davidson according on the faceoff. Won by Davidson. Here's Korchinski for Prokop, and now Doc for Davidson. In front, and they score once again. It's Siona this time. And the Seattle Thunderbirds will win this one 5-0. And Seattle will add Jackson Berezowski to their roster. And the Silvertips will lose all their land in a humiliating fashion as the Thunderbirds take over. 46 teams remaining in CHL Imperialism. And our next team will be... This will be the Lethbridge Hurricanes. And they will be headed to their northeast. And that arrow passes through the Tigers' territory, so the Tigers and Hurricanes will be our next matchup in Imperialism. Wiesblad and Swetlogov are on a face-off. One by Swetlogov. Here's Pauls to Arnson. Now Edwards for Marquez. And a shot, and they score! Wormold puts the Hurricanes on the board, and Lethbridge will take a 1-0 lead. Big over for the Hurricanes. Here is Marquez. Now Edwards with it for Wormold. And here's Marquez. And he scores! And the Hurricanes with another goal as they take a 2-0 lead. And a pass intercepted by Jones. Here's an opportunity for Jones for the Hurricanes. And his shot went wide. Less than 10 seconds remaining. Here is Zimmer. One more opportunity for Lethbridge. Here's Jones and shot. And he scores with 4 seconds remaining. The Hurricanes will add to their lead, and they'll make it 3-0. Final 10 seconds of the game. Hurricanes up 3-0. We've had an Imperialism record of 9 penalties in this game, with the Tigers with 6. This shot was blocked. Mrzic, final seconds of the game, and that will do it. The Hurricanes with a 3-0 win over the Tigers, and they are moving on in Imperialism. And the Hurricanes will add Bogdan's Hodas to their roster. And now the Hurricanes control a decent amount of land in the WHL. 15 teams have been eliminated from CHL Imperialism, and our next team will be the Owen Sound Attack. And the attack will be headed to their west. And that arrow is pointed toward Minnesota, so the attack will add Minnesota to their territory. Alright, so that was our first expansion of the video, and our next team will be the Windsor Spitfires, and they will be headed to their northwest. And that arrow is pointed toward the Flint Firebirds territory, so the Spitfires and Firebirds will be our next matchup. Here's Slavacek with half a minute remaining. On a minute advantage, there's Piercy with it. His pass intercepted. Slavacek for Piercy, and Anuska with the big glove save there to rob the Firebirds of the first goal of the game. Piercy for Slavacek. For Petrie, and there's a shot, and they score! It's Piercy, and the Firebirds will make it 1-0. Braden Kressler now down the left side. He'll find Dan a shot, and they score! The Firebirds take a 2-0 lead over the Spitfires. 6 minutes remaining in the third and final period. Here's Abraham for Smith. Smith in the slide. He finds Abraham, and he scores! And the Spitfires cut the deficit to 1. And they are not done yet, thanks to Ryan Abraham. 1 minute remaining in the third and final period. Here's Shane Wright, and he got hit off the puck. And now here's Hayes. Dan now exits the zone for the Firebirds. We'll see the Spitfires pull the goalie here. Dan tied up. And they're pulling the goalie. Bertucci, he scores! As the Spitfires goalie was leaving to the bench, the Firebirds were able to capitalize. In the slot, his shot stopper Cranley. Baggio, and the puck just did not go in. An unfortunate break there for the Spitfires. And now here's Deline. Lost the puck. And now here are the final seconds. Maggio shot. Glove saved by Cranley. And that, well, we have 0.4 seconds remaining. And that will do it. The Firebirds will defeat the Spitfires 3-1. And they are moving on. And Shane Wright is now a member of the Flint Firebirds. And the Firebirds will take over the Spitfires land. And our next team on the wheel will be Rangers or Storm. This will be the Kitchener Rangers, who have already defeated the Peterborough Petes. And they will be headed to their northeast. And that arrow passes through the Storm's territory, so Rangers and Storm will be our next matchup. Here comes Martin. Down the left side. He gets it there. Othman now with the puck. Brendan Othman to the front of the net. And they score! It'll be Pinelli. And the Rangers will strike first early against the Storm. It'll be won by Poitras. Now the puck in the corner. Buchinger tied up by Pinelli. Here's Othman. Final seconds of the first period. Martin in a slot. His shot. He scores! And the Rangers take a 2-goal lead with less than 10 seconds remaining in the opening period. Mitchell Martin from Brendan Othman with the puck. Schleichen, cross-ice pass. Here's Amara. His shot stopped there by Lever. Now puck in the corner. Mercer for Arcuri. Arcuri with the puck. His shot. And he scores! And the Rangers have a 3-goal lead, thanks to Francesco Arcuri. Brendan Othman now. And shot stopped by Lever. In the corner for Redcup. And now Sopp with it. And he scores! Matthew Sopp with a huge goal, and with less than a minute remaining, he makes it 4-0. Final 10 seconds remaining. Here's Carabella with the puck for Gilf. Lost the puck. Here's Moore now for the Rangers. 3 seconds remaining. And a good forward to Marquette, and that will do it. The Kitchener Rangers will defeat the Guelph Storm 4-0. And the Rangers will add Cam Allen to their roster. And the Storm will be erased from the CHL Imperialism map. Alright, so the Storm have been removed from the wheel. And our next team will be the Winnipeg Ice. And they will be headed to their southeast. And that arrow passes through Minnesota, so the Ice and the Attack will be our next matchup. Zach Ostapchuk, the Senators prospect, former Vancouver Giant. Here comes Ostapchuk. He shoots and he scores! Zach Ostapchuk strikes on the power play, and the Winnipeg Ice will take a 1-0 lead. Here's Petrovsky, got hit there by Ostapchuk. Now Kumby for Zach Ostapchuk. He finds Friesen, and he scores! And just like that, it is a 2-0 game in favor of the Ice. Kobe Barlow for Petrovsky. Lost the puck. Here's Burrows, and he scores! Barlow. And he'll find Jordan, and he scores! And the Attack will tie this game at 2. Here is Jonas Wu with the puck. He lost it. Burrows a shot. Never got through. And now Wu with 12 seconds remaining. Here is Nash for Ostapchuk for Friesen. And Chenna a big save there. And now Ostapchuk in the corner. Less than 5 seconds remaining. Kobe Barlow lost the puck. Friesen a shot. And a glove save there by Chenna with 0.3 seconds remaining. And we are headed to overtime in Owen Sound, Ontario. And now here comes Petrovsky in front for Seed. And Hauser with a big stop there. And now here comes Sedley. 8 seconds remaining. Sedley's on a breakaway. He can win it here. Sedley walks in. And Hauser makes a huge stop. With 2.9 seconds remaining in overtime. Can the Attack score here, or we'll be headed to shootout? Physical weapon pass. Here's Sedley at the point. For Sawyer. Stopped by Hauser. And we are headed to a shootout. Connor Geeky will be shooting first for the Ice. Here he comes, and a shot was stopped there by Chenert, and it did go in, but it went off the post first, so it will not count. And now here comes Gore for the attack, looking to get them on the board. He walks in, and Hauser with a stop. Zach Benson is next for the Winnipeg Ice. He walks down the middle, and the backhand stopped by Chennard. Gundon is up next for Owen Sound. A chance to take the lead. Gundon, a backhand, stopped by Hauser. Now it's Connor McLennan's turn. McLennan walks in, and a backhand, he scores! And the Ice will take the lead in the shootout, thanks to Connor McLennan. And now it's all up to Burrows. If he misses, it's over, but if he scores, we play on. He walks in, glove stop by Hauser, and the Winnipeg Ice will win in a shootout. And we'll move on in CHL Imperialism. And Servak Petrovsky is now a member of the Winnipeg Ice. And now the Winnipeg Ice control land in the Ontario Hockey League. 42 teams remaining in CHL Imperialism. And our next team will be the Halifax Mooseheads once again. And the Mooseheads will be headed to their northwest. And that arrow passes through Maine, so the Mooseheads will expand on this turn. Alright, next team on the wheel will be the Cataractes of Phoenix. And this will be the Shawnigan Cataractes. And they will be headed to their southwest. And that is a matchup against the Armada. And Canonica will skate it out. Canonica, his shot, and he scores! And the Cataractes will strike first for Dennis on the right side. Poked away, now Lacert. And now there's a breakaway for the Stews. He can take the lead and he scores! First power play of the night for the Armada. We'll see if they can capitalize. They're only down 2, 19:01 remaining. It's only the Red Blaze. Here's Lemieux. And a cross, and they score! Dennis makes it a 1-goal game for Turidny. And now in deep for Heward. For Canonica in the slot. He shot, he scores! Lorenzo Canonica, second of the game. And it is now a 3-1 game in favor of the Cataractes. Here comes Heward with the puck. Off a stretch pass. Heward down the right side. He stops. Finds Dennis' shot. He stopped there. And a rebound. They score! And the Cataractes make it a 4-1 game. 10 seconds remaining in regulation. Here is Turidny for Dennis, who scored the 4th goal for the Cataractes. On the boards, Lemieux's there. And that will do it. The Cataractes will defeat the Armada and move on. And the Cataractes will add Alex Blaze to their lineup. And the Armada will be erased from the Imperialism map. And our next team will be the Dracker. And they will be headed to their northwest. And the Dracker will claim Newfoundland and Labrador. Alright, next team on the wheel, we will have the Halifax Mooseheads once again. And Halifax will be headed to their southwest. And that arrow will pass through New Hampshire, so the Mooseheads will expand. 2 expansions in a row. Will we see a game here? Let's find out. Our next team on the wheel will be the Battalion. And they will be headed to their south. And that is a matchup against the Kitchener Rangers. Here is Tomas Hamara. He'll find Vlad for the Rangers. Vlad on the right side. His shot. Stop there. Rebound. They score. It's Mercer on the power play. And across his pass for Tarasevic. Take a little bit more. And now Swick the other way. Swick. He has some time. Swick moves in. And now Sop. He scores. Matthew Sop makes it 2-0 Kitchener. One by Pinelli. Here's Hamara at the point. His shot. Stop there. Rebound. Divenson's another save. Here's Pinelli now. Around his own net. He shoots. And he scores. Francesco Pinelli makes it 3-0 as he capitalizes on the power play. 20 seconds remaining in the second period. Here's Jackson for Arnsby. And a shot stopped by Constantini. And then they score. Jackson gives the Battalion their first goal of the game. And it is now 3-1. 5 seconds remaining. Meeser. And that puck goes to Mathurin. And that will do it. The Kitchener Rangers with their 3rd victory in CHL Imperialism as they defeat the Battalion And the Rangers will add Matvey Petrov to their roster. And the Rangers will continue their epic run in CHL Imperialism. 20 teams have been eliminated, and we have 40 teams remaining in CHL Imperialism. Stay tuned for part 2. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you all next time.